Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hospice Waterloo Region virtual grand opening of the Geese Family Centre. I'm Lisa Laflamme, and I'm here at the CTV National Newsroom, but would have loved to be there with you today in my own hometown to celebrate this extraordinary achievement. Hospice of Waterloo Region has had a long-standing relationship with the Indigenous community in the region, so I want to acknowledge the ancestral and traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Arawandaraun neutral people. Today, this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, so this is such an important reminder of the connection to this land where we live, where we learn and work, and our responsibility for the stewardship of the land in the critically important process of reconciliation. Today is a very special day for Hospice of Waterloo Region, as it is the culmination of so many years of dreaming and hard work by the board, staff, volunteers, and the community. So a huge congratulations to everyone involved in making this happen. Construction for the Geese Family Centre, a 27,000 square foot center for palliative care and residential hospice, began in the fall of 2018. And like any construction project, there were challenges. However, no one could have predicted a global pandemic, the ultimate challenge. We're at a critical time now for the containment of COVID-19, and of course, that's why we're hosting this event virtually. Doesn't mean we can't celebrate, though, even if it has to be done remotely. We have a great show lined up for you today, including a message from Ontario's Minister of Health, Deputy Premier Christine Elliott. We also have some entertainment from Drayton Entertainment and my old friend Alex Mistakis, and a special guest appearance from everyone's favorite wealthy barber, Dave Chilton. But first, let's learn more about Hospice Waterloo Region and the teams involved in their incredible work. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Lucille Mitchell, founder of Hospice Waterloo Region.
It happened about 30 years ago. I happened to be at a convention with my husband. There was a woman who was going to be speaking by the name of Rosita Perez. And she said, okay, if not you, who? And if not now, when? It was as if she were speaking directly to me. I went to the BON, the doctors. Everybody loved the idea. However, they were already stretched to the limit. So at that point, it was dead. I put all the stuff away. And 2 years later, I was cleaning out that kitchen drawer where you say, I'm never going to have any junk in there. I couldn't get the drawer open. So I gave it a good tug. This pamphlet came out of the drawer. And what do you think it said? If not you, who? If not now, when? And we got $10,000 to help start it. My son-in-law gave us an empty building. People gave us a board table. And we had two people come on board who worked for free for over a year, Patricia Kelly and Sandra Close. So to all of them, to our staff, to fundraisers, to all the people who made hospice a reality, I thank you. And a very special thanks to the people who have entrusted their loved ones to us, to the volunteers, staff, everybody. We could not have done this without you.
What makes Hospice of Waterloo Region special is the people. I think the fact that every single person recognizes how important this stage of life is and how much difference you can make supporting people through this stage of life and helping families in their bereavement afterwards and ensuring that they come through the experience as healthy and at peace as they can. I think that commitment to the work of every single person in the organization is what makes it really, really special. This is a component of life. You are born, you come into the world, and there's a lot of celebration, and there's a lot of focus on having natural birth and natural experiences, and end of life is very much the same. It's the conclusion of a life. It's actually a time to celebrate the life that was lived. And so I think for hospice, it's very much about recognizing that this is a natural process, that we can help people with it, and that there are ways that we can be supportive to ensure that the experience itself can be as positive and affirming for a family as we can make it. We have probably 4 distinct teams. The first one is the client services team, which delivers those direct services to the clients we work with. But we also have an educational services team that does a lot of work with palliative education, mostly to healthcare professionals. We have a community engagement team that is really focused on having conversation with the community about their role and how they support people. And then we've introduced now our residential support services team, which will be actually managing the new residents and the beds that we have. And all of those 4 areas of work are supported by our administrative backbone team, which really does provide a lot of support and infrastructure to allow the work of those other groups to keep happening. In addition to that is the volunteer team, which is 250 amazing people who've all received 35 hours of specific training in how to support individuals and families as they go through end of life. I've had so many volunteers tell me what a privilege it is to do the work and how much they do the work, not because they give, but because what they get from everybody. They feel like the clients are gifting them. And these are very deep and meaningful encounters. And then, of course, we have our board team. They themselves are volunteers. They're community leaders who stay very focused on a vision for what we can become. We could contribute the success of our campaign to a very unique community that is particularly philanthropic. This was a cause that they all felt that they could become part of. And so we have had a phenomenal community response. They've put a lot of faith in us to be able to provide something to our community that they felt we really needed. You are allowed to dream, you are allowed to vision, you are allowed to say, what else could we do that would be helpful and would move us forward and would provide even better services as a center of excellence, a place that people can come to and know that they are going to get accurate, compassionate, and knowledgeable care.
Thank you, Judy and Lucille, for sharing the Hospice Waterloo Region story and introducing everyone to the team. Also, a huge thank you to our host today, Lisa Laflamme. Good afternoon. I am Shelley O'Connor, Director of Community Engagement here at Hospice Waterloo Region. I am honored to be your MC today and to represent this incredible hospice team of staff and volunteers for the virtual grand opening of the Geese Family Center. As Judy and Lucille stated, being able to do this work, being able to walk beside those who are dying and those who are grieving is a privilege and a gift. On behalf of our entire team, I want to express how excited we are to open the doors of our new hospice home, the Geese Family Center, which includes the newest edition of our residence care services. Along with our offices in Cambridge, we now have spaces that will allow us to enhance all of our services. I would also like to take a moment to thank all of our event sponsors. Because of you, we are able to celebrate this milestone together, even if it must be virtually. Thank you for your tremendous support. It truly is amazing what we can achieve when the community comes together. And that achievement calls for some celebrating. On that note, it's my pleasure to introduce our first performance. Please welcome Alex Moustakis from Drayton Entertainment.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go. to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
What a beautiful performance, Alex. To dream the impossible dream and to reach the unreachable stars. This song is so full of hope and excitement, and it makes me smile thinking of our own journey to this moment. As we walk through this building and as we welcome our community through these doors, we're all feeling that same excitement and inspiration that Alex connected us to in this beautiful performance. We certainly dreamed the dream, and together we made it happen. And the reality is so much more than we could ever have imagined. Thank you so very much, Alex. To keep our conversation going, consider joining along on social media throughout this entire event. If you are on social media, let us know what you thought of Alex's performance. And don't forget to use the hashtag HWR2021. So now, let's get back to exploring this new building and all that went into its completion. In a moment, we will hear from Laird Robertson and Doug McIntosh from Neo Architecture, who were tasked with designing this new facility. But first, please welcome Brenda Hallman, the current president of the board, to tell you a little bit about how it all got started.
It began about 5 years ago. We were sitting around the boardroom table, thinking about the future of Hospice Waterloo Region. What would be the next steps for us? When we made the move to Lawrence Avenue, we thought that building would serve us for many years. But we were quickly outgrowing this space and had rented offices nearby. It was time to grow again. The vision began to take shape as we worked through strategic plans to create a hub for palliative care that would include space not only for our existing programs and services, but also a 10-bed residential hospice. After much discussion, planning, dreaming, and brainstorming, things began to take shape. The search for land began, the architect and project managers were hired, the capital campaign was set in motion. We were on our way to realizing our dream. Things don't always go as planned. There were a few setbacks, but here we are now in this amazing space. And finally, thank you to the very generous people of this community who made donations to our campaign and the people who had the vision to make hospice what it is today and what it will become.
Understanding exactly what a hospice was and what it offered as a service was sort of mysterious to me at the beginning.
It is a good thing that we hadn't done hospice because we didn't come into the project with anything preconceived.
When we first started the project and when we first engaged the architects, we had several visioning sessions with staff, with the physicians that we work with a lot of our volunteers.
We used words like welcoming, warm, safe, respectful,
approachable and warm and light and full of life.
We talked about the program, we talked about the emotion of the place, the feelings, the desire of what the architecture would do to enhance the service that they were providing.
We tried very hard when we were visioning this building to ensure that it would be a very welcoming space for people.
The vision was derived from the site, and it's also a reference to the region. It's an agrarian community. We come from the farm, we come from the land. And so the inspiration for the sort of typology and the formalism of the building was derived from an agrarian language. So we brought in the barn form, we brought in the gable, a silo.
There are a lot of good, positive spaces to bring nature in and out, spaces for gathering, spaces for people to feel relaxed, spaces for quiet reflection.
The fundamental narrative of hospice is the celebration of life. Everything about the architecture, everything about the building was informed by this idea of a connection to the natural cycle of life, which is nature in essence.
The exposure to natural light and the opportunity to bring the pedestrian traffic through the building, always exposed to the feeling and warmth of natural light, that became our greatest opportunity.
Form, shape, light, texture, color, materiality affects you, fundamentally affects you. And we always seem to know that we feel at peace when we're outdoors, when we're in nature. And it's nature is its perfection of bringing together all of those elements in perfect balance to make us feel connected. Every one of the residents' rooms has its own outdoor patio, protected patio area, so that they can be taken in their bed from within the room to a garden area just outside their room. And we've been told that many people in those final days, whether it's cold or rainy or sunny, they don't mind. They just want to be outside and they want to feel like space and time. They want to be present.
Everything about the building shows the value of the person, and it celebrates the importance of the person, and not just necessarily the resident.
There's many aspects of the design that are actually catering towards the loved ones that are coming to visit. Whether it's contemplative spaces, meditative spaces, or religious spaces, or outdoor spaces, pathways on the site, there's a labyrinth. And then there's the inner courtyard that we designed into the building, which was a contemplative garden that is in the center of the building. And it's open to the sky. So it's a space that you can go to and look inside of and see the snow or see the rain, see the sunshine, see the flowers, kind of understand you're part of a larger cycle of life.
Being able to provide the residents where families can just be family and not have to be the medical caregiver will be an amazing contribution.
It's a belief that I hold very dear that this space that we inhabit allows us to be connected or disconnected from existence, from life, from everything.
Being able to work with families so that they understand there is a place that they can come to as well. So even though their loved one may still be at home or is still receiving supports at home, to know that there is a space that they can come to, that we could journey with the individual who is sick and with their family, right from their diagnosis through the end of life experience, whether it happened with us or whether it happened somewhere else, and then through the bereavement journey afterwards.
I strangely think that while this building is about end of life, I think the legacy that will last with the families who experience this is going to be possibly the greatest success of the building.
The vision is to really continue to grow and continue to serve and continue to find ways to provide that kind of expertise to the community.
Those moments give people joy and pleasure and surprise, and that makes people want to be there and want to spend time there, and that helps build community.
This building is a phenomenal, amazing culmination of a lot of dreams and hopes, and yet it is not the end. We don't stop here. This is just our sort of beginning to the next stage.
There's no question that that building will be loved and will be a loving place and will be cared for.
I'm feeling really positive. Really positive. I feel such an energy and a supportive underpinning from the community that wants this to be a success. I feel the energy that's coming from our team and our volunteers about what they could do for people now. And so I see just sort of an open, unending possibility for what we could do.
Thank you, Brenda, Laird, Doug, and Judy. Brenda emphasized that it all starts with a dream and a vision, and that it takes an entire community to bring that dream to reality. We were so fortunate to be able to work with two amazing visionaries who were able to understand our dream, the spirit and foundation of our work, and carefully crafted it into this incredible building design, a space that allows us to be connected to clients, families, and community inside and out. Thank you for bringing our dream to life. So, how did this vision turn into reality? We contracted Malul Blamey Construction, and today we have Jeff Shantz from Malul to describe how we turned this vision into this very unique building.
We were very interested from day one. To be involved is a privilege, I think. We do so many other types of buildings and recreation centers and things like that. This is a very different place that people will spend literally the last few moments of their life.
It's been phenomenal. Our contractor has been incredible.
When we first saw the drawings and were asked to look at it to give some feedback and constructability, there's no question the vision of the project was very unique.
The complexity of that building, the sophistication of the design, it takes a lot of time to construct it and finish it according to the vision.
We could have built a box and had most of these functions exist inside.
When you walk into the building, all you see is the beauty and the serene nature of everything that you walk around.
But instead, we created a piece of architecture that shows not just the families and the residents, their value, but it gives value to what everybody who administers these services. It gives value to their space.
It's not a hospital, it's not a house, but it's a mixture. And then also has very special amenities to camouflage the fact that it actually is a very complicated building with all the systems that are in behind the scenes.
We went through some cost-saving measures. We did revise some of the cladding material. We removed some elements that were in the original design, but always with the premise that we weren't going to lose the spirit of the place.
Make sure you look around when you walk through this building because every corner is detailed like no other.
I'm really, really proud of what we did together and how this vision came together.
The detailing of this project is extreme. All these different structures joined together in the circle.
Every change we made had a certain quality to it that would always maintain that spirit.
And it really is almost 3 buildings tied into one, 3 very different buildings. Basically a piece of art almost.
It's positioning within the site and the positioning of the large barn form that is virtually in the same location that the original barn was before it was torn down is extremely successful.
It's not very often in your career that you are able to build something that will have such an impact for years to come in the community. And so we're very fortunate. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the hospice for this allowing us to have the opportunity to be a part of this. They were great to work with, and we certainly appreciate helping create a facility that so many people get to use.
Thank you, Jeff. What a fantastic collaboration. Well done. We are so grateful that you didn't just build a box, but that you and your incredible construction team built something that is unique, putting your own craftsmanship, expertise, and dedication into every corner to honor our clients, our families, and our community. Thank you. Now, we couldn't have reached this milestone without the support and generosity of our incredible donors and our community. Let's meet some of our wonderful donors who will tell you in their own words why they chose to support this important initiative.
The Geese Center, of course, is an outcome, I believe, from what Hospice Waterloo has been doing for many, many years. So when they decided that their facility became outgrown, mainly because of their own success in helping other people, it became relatively easy to connect with people and say, hey, here's what we've done over the years, and now it's time for us to expand to meet needs of additional individuals as well as current individuals, and we're just going to need some more space and better space to do that. So that storyline, I think, resonated with many people, including ourselves.
What impressed us from the beginning was the input and help we received from the people at hospice. It was a great relationship. There was a lot of mutual respect.
My sister passed away about 4 years ago. The last week or weeks of her life, she did go into a hospice house. That was a very, very touching moment for me, and that's why I said when I had the chance to get involved here, it was a no-brainer. Yes, we're going to do it.
Clearly, with the existing number of beds, hospice beds between the two existing facilities, one in Cambridge and one in the south end of Kitchener, we really recognize the need, and at the same time, we also recognize the difficulty that governments have in terms of providing funding for services that perhaps they view as non-core.
When Judy and Tracy came to me and said, we'd like you to be involved with the campaign, I jumped in with both feet because we needed more beds here, we needed more support here.
I think it brings respect and dignity to the end of a wonderful person's life.
The families that have gone through and experienced hospice totally understand just exactly what it means, not only for the one that's passing, but for the family and the support that it gives.
So many people forget that children grieve as well, and they're often very confused about what is taking place. So hospice offers that help, and I think that's very, very important.
I think one of the great opportunities for the community with the Geese Family Center is that it's going to help us, I think, better understand our life journey and better understand the importance of not being afraid of death, that dying is really part of our journey on earth. It's part of life. It'll give us a stronger community, and it'll give us a better perspective on really what it means to appreciate the time that we are in fact living.
I know that there are volunteers that have been walking with individuals for years. There's a perception that hospice is end of life. It's the last 7 days. And in fact, it is much broader than that. It is that whole period leading up to it, and which is so crucial to family members and to individuals. And our experience of seeing that same face almost become a family member is extremely meaningful.
It's not only building a hospice facility, but it brings the community together. It's not the money or not the name, it's the facility itself. It's second to none. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to get involved.
Probably the most important part of this whole celebration that we're doing with this grand opening is exposing what hospice is all about and just exactly what takes place inside the building.
What Hospice Waterloo does is provide an opportunity for people who have a very giving heart. And yes, it has extreme benefits for the people that they look after, but it also is a very satisfying experience for those providing that service. So I think one has to look at both sides of this and say everyone wins when they get involved.
Yeah, my family has been touched with cancer also. 2 brothers and a sister. Well, I'm very overwhelmed by all this, and I feel very happy about it.
Beautiful people in a beautiful building with a fantastic cause.
I have to honestly say, I did enjoy doing it. And we will still continue to support it and raise money for it.
I can't say enough about our fundraising committee. To a person, they were outstanding. I'd love to be able to hug each and every one of them, but thank you somehow doesn't say enough. Everything that they did, the work that they put in, the ongoing efforts are truly, truly appreciated.
Hospice is going to continue to have significant needs, significant financial support requirements in order for it to carry out its mission. So I think that's the one thing that we can't lose sight of. And frankly, it's not the needs that hospice has, it's the needs that the community has. Right, that you and I, or people that we know, it's the community that needs this, and hospice is just a conduit to provide the services.
If you were to learn more about hospice, you would experience something beautiful.
There is a willingness by people to support a cause that is willing to be accountable, and hospice is accountable. It's transparent in terms of how they spend their money, where the money comes from, and so I think that there's an appetite out there to support this type of thing, which will benefit absolutely everybody.
Thank you once again to all of our donors. Your ongoing support and shared commitment to this project has meant everything to us and to our community. The Geese Family Center is not only a dream that we shared, but a way that we could come together to build a stronger community. We are forever grateful. Next up, we have a very special message from the Mayor of Waterloo, Dave Jaworski. But first, please welcome Christine Elliott, Ontario's Deputy Premier and Minister of Health.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christine Elliott, Ontario's Deputy Premier and Minister of Health. I want to extend my sincere congratulations to the team at Hospice of Waterloo Region and on the grand opening of the Geese Family Center. This is an exciting moment for you and for your community. I'm so pleased that you were able to find a way to safely celebrate. For over 26 years, Hospice of Waterloo Region has provided community hospice palliative care to thousands of families in Waterloo and the surrounding regions. Thank you to the many staff and volunteers for your incredible contributions and ongoing efforts to care for patients and families when they need you the most. The new Geese Family Center and the new residential hospice beds at the Cook Family Residence will go a long way towards expanding on the high-quality care you are known for and ensuring that patients have access to palliative care services when they need them. Our government is committed to ensuring patients receive the care, dignity, and respect they deserve in every stage of their life. And we are proud to call the team at the Hospice of Waterloo Region valued partners. So once again, congratulations to you and the community on this exciting milestone.
Wow, here we are today at the grand opening for Hospice Waterloo Region. You know, this is a wonderful day. There's been many years and many volunteer hours in the making. You know, a lot of things I do as mayor is walking around to get ideas and to see what needs to be filled in. Where do we need to fill in the gaps? And we certainly didn't have a library on the east side. I'm putting that up now. Our senior centers are 40 years old, 50 years old. So we're actually working on those and putting up a brand new senior center. And I was walking through Waterloo Park one day and I realized, you know what? We don't have a hospice. And it was about a year or two later where the Hospice Waterloo Region team came to see me. And I thought, what a great vision. What a great dream for the citizens of Waterloo and Waterloo Region to have a brand new hospice. So we put together a team to help them find some land, very much shortage of land here in Waterloo. And it wasn't beautiful Waterloo Park, but it was in Rim Park that we found land. And this was just so exciting. And, you know, everybody started coming together, and it was at the State of the City a couple of years ago where we did the announcement that Bill Geese and family came in to be one of the top donors. And with that, it caused other donors to come in. The government of Ontario came in, and then the region of Waterloo through Ken Sealing and Tom Galloway made a donation. The city of Waterloo did as well. And then every one of us with each of our little pebbles of donations helped fill in those gaps. That really brought this to reality to today at a ribbon cutting. And it's just so exciting, such heartfelt warmth from the citizens of Waterloo to Hospice Waterloo Region. Hearty congratulations to the entire team, all the volunteers, the many, many thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours that went into creating this beautiful site for Hospice Waterloo Region. Congratulations, team.
Thank you, Mayor Jaworski, and thank you also to Deputy Premier Christine Elliott for your kind words, your support, and your enthusiastic acknowledgement of this great achievement. The services we provide at Hospice Waterloo Region, through the dedication of our amazing volunteers, has a significant impact on clients, families, and the community. Donna Gauthier, a Hospice Waterloo client, is here to share her husband Donald's story and their experience at Hospice Waterloo as they journeyed through the end of his life together. Please welcome Donna Gauthier.
Well, Donald was my husband for 36 years and the father of my 4 wonderful children. He was a brilliant engineer and university professor. From the moment that we walked into the Hospice of Waterloo Region, we felt cared for and supported. I remember on that first day, I was reading the pamphlet as we were waiting and thought, oh wow, there's a lot of programs. And little did I know that we would access so many of them and so many would be so beneficial to us. We also had a one-on-one volunteer that came towards the end of his life just to visit with him. And then it gave me the opportunity to, I remember just a week before he died, I went and bought snow tires and had them put on. And that's such a valuable service, and with such a kind and listening ear to Donald. We took mindfulness, and that really helped to learn to be in the moment and to learn to breathe and to help deal with anxiety. And I actually took mindfulness again after he died. Early on, the counselor talked about a good death, and I thought, that's just a weird way of, like, how can death be good? And as I saw Donald prepare for death and learn about it and accept it, I saw a peace growing within him. And, you know, we spend so much time preparing for a new baby and so little time preparing for death. And boy, it was so helpful to us. We both got haircuts, free haircuts at hospice. And some days when I was caregiving for Donald, I think I forgot to even comb my hair. And he was so vulnerable too. To go in and to have somebody very gently and kindly cut both of our hairs really meant a lot. I went to a caregivers support group, which was absolutely awesome. I learned so much, so many things I learned, like about anticipatory grief, about what to do if Donald went into crisis, just really practical things, but then also things that supported my soul and spirit. And then there was the camaraderie because there was other caregivers there. And even though we were on very different journeys often, there was a support just gained by sharing with each other. My very most beneficial gift from hospice was the bereavement walking group. The hospice not only takes care of the patient, but takes care of the family. Donald dying the way that he did helped me on my journey of grief, knowing that he died a good death. He lived meaningfully all the days of his life. 2 nights before he died, As he returned to the bed from the bathroom, he told me, "My legs are kind of strong. Let's have one more dance." And we danced. Hospice will support your body, soul, and spirit, the whole person. I would urge people to educate themselves and to know about hospice even before you need to know about hospice. To know that these services are out there. To think about the do not resuscitates and to give those thoughts so that when or if at some point that a loved one of yours or you face that, you've already done some of the thinking. And know that the Hospice of Waterloo has so many great things that will help your journey and help the journey of your whole family.
A thank you seems so inadequate after hearing Donna and Donald's story. We are honored by Donna's courage in sharing their experience so that others can also find the services and supports that they need. As a hospice team, we were privileged to have been part of their journey. We also want to thank you, Donna, for this beautiful reminder that hospice palliative care is about living your life right until the end. That includes the dancing. Your comments about the importance of preparing and having conversations about end of life is a gentle reminder to all of us to begin these conversations with those we love and care for. And today seems the perfect day for conversation as we open up our new building where we will be able to provide those expanded services that people will need. The traditional grand opening of a new building always involves many local dignitaries and a ribbon cutting ceremony. Doing this virtually presented some challenges, but we are so pleased that everyone was able to find a way to join us. If someone can just pass the scissors, I'll go and get the ribbon set up.
Congratulations, Geese Center. We're lucky to have you.
Congratulations, Geese Hospice. So proud you're part of Waterloo Region.
We live in such a generous community. Thank you so much.
What a wonderful addition to Waterloo.
Thanks, everyone, for all of your amazing work.
Way to go, Geese Center.
This is a great accomplishment for our community.
Congratulations to the Geese family. What an accomplishment.
As a founding member of Hospice Waterloo Region, this is fantastic.
Where's that ribbon?
There you have it. The Geese Family Center is now officially open. What a fantastic achievement for everyone. A huge thank you to those who participated in the ribbon cutting ceremony. We are so honored and so pleased that you were able to celebrate with us and have some fun virtually along the way. Now our next guest is former Dragon on CBC TV's Dragon's Den and best-selling author of The Wealthy Barber. Please welcome Waterloo local, David Chilton.
Hey, it's Dave Chilton, the Wealthy Barber. I'm here during COVID. I haven't seen anybody in months except for the woman at the McDonald's drive-thru. She and I have really bonded, and I see a strong future together. I wanted to come on and say a special congratulations to all parties involved in this wonderful initiative. The Geese Family Center is going to be such a huge difference maker for the community. I'm often asked, I really am, why I get so involved in hospices. I've done a lot of fundraising and a lot of charity events for hospices across the country. And it's because they're wonderful places that have such a huge ripple impact as they go forward. It's not just helping the person to die with grace and dignity, it's the impact on the family. I find that everything goes so well there when they're surrounded by people who know what they're doing, who are trained in that profession, who have all the proper resources. It really is something to see. I visit a lot of the hospices across the country as I travel and give the speeches for the fundraisers. Have met so many amazing people, even people days away from death who've handled themselves tremendously well and been impactful on me. But it's the staffs that have blown me away. Their caring attitudes, the difference they feel they're making, and again, the ripple impact on the families and how they tend to be more likely to celebrate the life and not to define the person's life by their death, something we ought to all seek to avoid. So this is a fantastic thing for our community. Thank you so much. I did a speech, by the way, last year for one of the big hospices, and they said, what do you think of the hospice? And I said, I'm not a big fan of that hospice. Nobody ever gets out of there alive. I thought that was quite funny, but they didn't see the humor in that. I guess hospice humor is to be avoided at all times. Anyway, thanks again for involving me. Congratulations on all you've done, and I hope that each and every one of you is proud of what you've accomplished.
Thank you, David, for your kind words. The fact that David travels across the country visiting hospices speaks to his passion and support for what we do. I love that he referred to hospices, including the Geese Family Center, as huge difference makers in the community and wonderful places that have huge ripple impact. Over the last 28 years, we have created that impact together. And this really is a proud moment for everyone in our Hospice Waterloo community. And to continue the celebration, I think it's time for another musical performance. Thanks to Drayton Entertainment, please welcome Lee Siegel.
This is the moment. This is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now, today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming and screaming become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I've made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall, for this is the moment, the sweetest moment of
Wow, Lee, what a powerful song. This certainly is the moment, the sweetest moment, and these moments are far from over. It is an exciting beginning as we look forward together to what we can accomplish. Thank you for a wonderful performance that so beautifully speaks to our moment today. And as we near the end of our live show, who better to speak to the future possibilities from this moment on than our own executive director? Please welcome back Judy Nairn for some closing remarks.
Thank you for attending our virtual grand opening today. We hope you've enjoyed the program and that you have met just some of the amazing people who have helped Hospice of Waterloo Region reach this milestone achievement, our new home at the Geese Family Center. Throughout our journey to this place, we have continued to meet new friends, and we have grown our Hospice of Waterloo Region family, which now includes you as well. We know how many people have given time and talent and even treasure to this project. There are far too many to thank individually, but know that we are grateful to each and every one of you. Your faith in us is humbling, and your support has created a covenant with us. We promise to honor your support by doing our very best every day to deliver the highest quality palliative care services. Our future is full of possibilities, and we are looking forward to the many new ways we can achieve our vision, that no one in our community will ever experience an end-of-life journey alone. And we want to do that by engaging you, our community, to join us in this work. On behalf of our entire hospice team, welcome to the family.
And cut.
Thank you so much, Judy, to you and the entire team for all that you do. What an incredible achievement for everyone in the community. It's because of your combined efforts that we have this fantastic new facility for our family, friends, and neighbors to enjoy. It makes me feel even more proud to belong to the Waterloo Region community, and I applaud everyone who's contributed to the success of this initiative. Thank you to all our special guests for participating in this virtual event, and of course to each of you who've tuned in today to join in the celebration. I look forward to seeing the center in person when this pandemic is behind us, and it will be. Congratulations, Hospice Waterloo Region, and thank you for your commitment to this community.